The land of Dola is home to many monsters, born of the fog of chaos, and the sprawling cities are the only of the few bastions where humanity can take shelter from these dangers. However, some of the most cunning and dangerous beasts, the Shiklavars, also known as bloodsuckers or vampires, have made their home in the seemingly safe cities. Shiklavars are humanoid monsters that resemble large insects and fed on human blood. They arose hundreds of years ago, crawling out of the chaotic fog that fills the entire Vale of Dola. Like all children of chaos, they have no physiological needs. They don't need to sleep, eat or drink to survive. Yet the Shiklavars continuously feel a raging hunger that only human blood can satisfy. The creatures are thus perfectly adapted to extract food from the bodies of their hosts. Using a long suction cup ending in a bony blade, they pierce directly into the heart of their prey. Before puncturing, the Shiklavars carefully cast the suction cup with its venom. The venom causes complete paralysis, so that the attacked host does not resist. It then begins a slow process of sucking blood, lasting up to a few hours. While the Shiklavar feeds, the victim is still conscious, although it cannot move. Thus, the only salvation for the Shiklavar's victim is the intervention of other people. Otherwise, the victim is doomed to watch silently as the monstrosity sucks the life out of him. Most often, after a few hours, the Shiklavar becomes saturated with blood and kills the host. However, in some cases, the bloodsucker leaves a larva in his body. Although all beasts of chaos origin do not give birth to offspring and multiply only thanks to the cursed mist, Shiklavars practice something like grotesque motherhood. A small larva nests in the empty heart of an already dead victim, gradually filling its empty blood vessels with white plasma. Before the host cells begin to die from lack of oxygen, the fluid secreted by the Shiklavar begins to flow in its veins. As a result, the body does not decompose and the muscles remain functional. The victim is usually found the next day. A burial is then performed. The grave soil acts as an incubator for the developing larva. During this time, it gradually grows into the spinal cord, functioning like a new brain for the dead body. This is how thralls, or servants of the Shiklavars, are formed. The newly formed thrall digs himself out of his grave and then seeks the hiding place of his veiled mother. It's not difficult, because bloodsuckers smell unthinkably, spreading a cloud of pheromones around them. It is not uncommon for this smell to be the only warning to a sleeping Shiklavar victim. Shiklavars usually hide in a sewer, old sheets, basement and abandoned house, patiently waiting for night to come. Then they go on the hunt. Like a faithful dog, Thrall finds his Shiklavar by scent. He is no longer possess human conditions, acting more like an insect in human skin than a human. From now on, its only function is to serve new master, defending and guard him, as well as bringing him new victims. The Shiklavars appear to possess a supernatural intelligence. One gets this impression from how well they hide among human society, how they manage their herds of thralls, and how cleverly they plan their hunting expeditions. The conviction of the intelligence of the Shiklavars is also built upon their habit of dress in expensive fabrics, jupans, kontushe or delia. Thus, it's easy to fall into the misconception that they constitute an intelligent race. In reality, their mind is not much different from that of a cockroach. They operate purely on instinct, which they inherited from the humans, from who they come. They operate purely on instinct. The hidden layers of the Shiklavars can grow to surprisingly sizes, functioning as a kind of hive for up to hundreds of trolls. They usually then become impossible to hide further, which usually ends in detection by the townspeople and bloody fights. That's when the Shiklavar abandon their servants, saving themselves by fleeing and seeking a new hiding place. The largest discovered nest of Shiklavar was in Saxograd, in the sewers under the Great White Boulevard. The city garrison tracking the beast encountered more than 1,000 trolls there. Probably the prohibition of cremation practiced in Saxograd and ritual burial directly into the ground contributed to this. As a result, Shiklavar, called Gyula by the locals, had constant access to fresh recruits from the nearby cemetery. Cracking down on such a number of trolls was very problematic. Gyula was fortunately able to be hunted down. Nevertheless, the Shiklavars still remain a threat to the urban population. In dense crowd, it's difficult to track down the beast and keep track of suspicious deaths. Bloodsuckers thus remain a lifelong scourge of Dola's major cities.